Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the 8th episode of the Turnbuckle Takeover. Sorry if I'm talking a little low. I'll try my best not. My wife's still sleeping. I wasn't able to record this last night. I had some things going on, and the way the world is, sometimes you got to take care of some business. Um, I'm going a different route this week. As I said earlier, controversy creates cash, and this is what this episode's going to be about today. And we do have a major problem going on in our hands in the world. Quite a dramatic change from the last time I seen you all. If you're not living under a rock somewhere, um, we had the coronavirus. I'm not gonna sit here and say either way whether it's harmful or it's not. I see you bunch of you buffoons on Facebook running your japper jaws, um, thinking you know everything. No one knows shit. Um, but what does this have to do with wrestling? Well, it has a lot to do with wrestling. Um, we were having a lot of promotions losing money, a lot of money, big money. Probably we're looking into millions. If WWE were to say have to cancel WrestleMania, you're looking at billions of dollars being lost from the town and the company combined. Um, so let's just start off with the major story, and this is the major story: the coronavirus. It could very well stop WrestleMania. 2 weeks is a long ways away. Anything could happen in the world. They could find a vaccine, and everything could go back to normal. On the other hand, it could continue spreading with no vaccine, and we're not going to have a WrestleMania. There is no way the government is going to let Vince put 60 to 70 to 80,000 people. I'm not exactly sure the number. I've heard 65, I've heard 73, I've heard 80,000. So I'm not exactly sure how many people are going to be in this. But there's no way the government's going to let that many people get into a massive group. And the biggest thing that I seen yesterday in the news, and I barely watched the news, but yesterday I watched the news. Um, the biggest problem we're having is they're suspending all mass gatherings. So anything over 250 people, you can't do it in most states. So this week is going to be an interesting week in wrestling. Probably the most interesting week in wrestling I have ever really dealt with as far as wrestling and outside politics, other than WWE buying WCW, but that wasn't really politics. They just bought it and won. There's a lot of factors that I'm going to dip into this. Um, and what I mean by when controversy creates cash, this is a lot of controversy. The world is almost in a mass panic. Am I? I'm on like a half slight slate. Don't really know what to believe, and I don't really know what not to believe. And the best thing I could tell everybody is just wash your damn hands. Like, wash your hands. Like, nobody washes their hands anymore. Obviously. Because now we have this going around, which has totally ruined not only WWE, but MLB baseball, NHL hockey has suspended their league, NCAA tournament, I don't even think they're playing. I could be wrong. The NASCAR, you can't even go to the Vatican and visit the you know, the Pope. Like, this is some serious crap, folks. This isn't nothing that's yeehaw, funny, funny, funny. Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? It's not. It's something to take serious, but you're gonna joke about it because, you're on Facebook, you're on social media, you read so much, don't know what's real, and you don't know what's fake news. No one really knows what's going on except for maybe 10 people in the United States, and all the leaders of the other country. But I looked this morning and they're banning travel everywhere. I don't even know if there's going to be a plane in the sky. So that brings me to the next point of WrestleMania. If there's no planes in the sky, then there's no foreign, audience. So you're looking at maybe, okay, so right there, let's say they've put a 30-day ban on all travel inside the United States from European countries. So with that being said, that's probably 20, 30,000 people that come see WrestleMania. I could be wrong. I know a lot of people travel from overseas. They do it all the time. They do those WWE 24 specials on the network. They always try to find someone overseas. Um, I think the big thing about this, and I think this is something that we all, not even Vince McMahon, I think can stop this. I Vince has done some crazy things with. I think he shot the day after 9/11, which kudos to him. Um, it's ballsy. Um, there's a couple options they have for WrestleMania. And I was this week going to go really off on other things, which I am. This is not going to be a recap show. So if you're looking for Raw, SmackDown, NXT results, I'm going to touch a little bit on some things. But this is not going to be about recapping this week's wrestling. Because really, honestly, after watching all the shows, I was not impressed. And a lot has to do with travel restrictions, with people not being able to get to the shows. It also has a lot to do with, um, you know, the crowd was very small at AE Dynamite this week. I noticed that. Um, if you panned the, if you notice when they were panning the camera, okay, there was only one section on the hard camera side that actually was full. The rest of it, nothing. You go on the other side when they were panning around, there was nothing. The non-camera side, nothing. There was nobody in the lower level. I will say this, the ring sides were completely full, which I think is about 15, 20 rows. Okay, so it's not like they didn't draw people. But from the report that I read, they only drawed about 2,500, which is the worst Dynamite they've had yet. And Dynamite is hot. WCW fans are watching it, and WWE fans are watching it. They're on a roll, and this is gonna hurt them so bad. Like, this is gonna hurt them. There's no way around this. I'm scared for the guys in the business, especially the guys that work for Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor and PWG and Gorilla and Defy Wrestling and the WrestleCon show. And if you guys don't know what WrestleCon is, that is right around WrestleMania. I mean, WrestleMania is a whole weekend thing if you're a true wrestling fan. If you're really a fan of everything, you can start Friday night, well, actually Thursday night. Thursday night late, usually running all the way till Sunday morning before WrestleMania. Usually they throw a show at 5 o'clock. You watch that, boom, right into WrestleMania pre-show. I mean, I did that one year with Impact. So, there's a lot of shows that are around Florida. Now, does WrestleCon hold a lot of people? That's the question. Yes, they do. WrestleCon draws probably about 4,000 people, which is out of the realm of possibility to be able to even have those shows. Now, if I'm looking at it from a promoter standpoint, and I'm looking at it from a money standpoint, this is going to be really hard to cancel everything. From Mania all the way down to the little promotions. This is built for a year, and promoters work on this kind of stuff for a year. This is not easy to put. You don't just throw a ring up and some production and say, oh, okay, yep, this is a wrestling show. It does not work like that. You got to book the talent. You got to get the talent there. There's a lot of things. I mean, I know a couple guys, I think I've talked on them before, guys that train me. They've actually picked up some legends at, planes and stuff. And, they've had to drive and go get these legends for these, mini indie shows to keep the indie life going because, yes, I know indie wrestling is over, but you still need your legends. And a lot of these legends aren't going to want to travel because, who wants to catch a virus? And a lot of these people that are catching the virus, guess what? They're 70, 80 years old. They're 60s. They're in their 50s. I think I seen one yesterday. It was like 39 years old. Dude, look, I'm not trying to be a politician, and I'm not. This is bad for wrestling. Period. There's no other way you look at it. This is horrible at the worst possible time probably ever. Now, WrestleMania is 2 weeks away. There's some travel restrictions that are going to be going away after that, around March 30th. That gives them an extra 4 days. I don't know. I'm not God, and I'm not Mother Nature, and I'm not anything but Billy Bailey, the host of the Turnbuckle Takeover podcast. That's all I am. So I'm just giving you my opinion. This doesn't look good. It continues to spread. I don't see. Well, the 30-day ban would actually put us past WrestleMania, which is April 15th. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do. So I've wrote down 4 options, and these are the options, in my opinion, that I think they can do. One is pretty simple, okay? And this is not happening. They're going to cancel it. They're not canceling WrestleMania. That will not happen. Rather it be they move it to Saudi Arabia. I know that sounds far-fetched, and that's plane travel, but you know Vince has his private planes. He could very well fly them guys over there. I don't know what the situation with the coronavirus is over in Saudi Arabia. That I did not write down. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on over there. I don't know how many cases they got, but I don't think it's crazy numbers. I think they only have like maybe 6, 7 cases. I could be wrong. But I don't think it's a lot. And I think the Saudi prince actually offered Vince not too long ago, I'll pay you 75 million, you bring WrestleMania there. I mean, that's not even close to the money that they would make at Tampa because, I mean, yeah, Saudi Arabia is a very rich country, and their people actually do have kind of money. So I don't know. Maybe they would buy a lot of merchandise. I don't know. It's just a real touchy situation. Number two, they could actually postpone WrestleMania. Eh, I don't see postponing it till June is going to help anybody out. I heard rumors about that. That's not going to happen, folks. Um, that would mess up every bit of entire booking that they had done for the last year and a couple months. It would be. Um, so I'm not exactly sure where they're going to go with postponing it. Because, I mean, let's say you postpone it. All right, so that would be April. I think the ban went in effect on the 10th. So that would be 5 days. That would be April 10th that the ban for the travel would go away. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not far fetched that that gets extended. So if it does get extended, um, I mean, 3 you can move it. 3 you can move it. So let's say they move it. Say they move it to the Performance Center. Thousands, millions, maybe even close to the number of billions will be lost. They do it in a Performance Center. Let's say they honor tickets. Well, you can only honor about 200 tickets. So whose tickets do you honor? Do you random? Do you resell WrestleMania tickets? How do you do this? Like, that would be a catastrophe for the WWE business side of it to sit there and try to postpone WrestleMania. Excuse me, move it. If they move WrestleMania, where do you move it? Like, you know, where if you postpone it, how long do you postpone it? You know, you got storylines, and you know, SmackDown last night was in the empty arena. It was weird to watch. I'll get into that in a little bit. It was weird. But it just goes to show how serious this really is. Like, yeah, you can go on Facebook all day and joke about this shit. It is not a joking matter. Big deal. You F-tards have to sit in a house for 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Like, what a bunch of babies. So what? I've been staying in a house for 3 months. I haven't been working. I got no cash. No extra cash. My wife takes care of the bills. So I wanted to go try to find something else. Ain't no point in me trying to go find anything right now. The world is shut down, folks, and Vince can do nothing about this. This is Mother Nature. This is out of Vince's hands. This is there's nothing he can do. Or number 4, and option number 4, you keep it the way it is with hand sanitizing and proper care, hygiene to your body. But I just don't see the governor letting it happen. I really think within the next week, you're going to see the Tampa Bay governor come out and say WrestleMania by the town of Tampa has to be canceled. There's no way we can do this. Mass virus that is spreading is not good for 80,000 people to be in the same arena. Even if you just get a common cold from it, or you get, or you get sick from it, or you get a bad case of the flu. That's basically what I'm hearing it is. Over 30,000 people have survived this, but 5,000 have died. So, I don't know. This is going to get really, really interesting. This could be monumental because let's be real, folks. If they cancel WrestleMania till July, what do you do in between the months? You can't have pay-per-views because you can't have people in the arena with you right now. So let's say they do a pay-per-view at the end of April. Okay, I don't know what they would even call it. Um, who knows? They've got plenty of pay-per-view names they could pull out of a hat. Some of them they've only used once, so I guess you could throw a pay-per-view together. But even then, you're not going to allow to have a crowd. So let's say you have a crowd of 1,000 for a pay-per-view at the Performance Center. That'd be cool. Maybe do the interpromotional war thing I was talking about last week. NXT versus WWE. That's why I said it, because I feel like we are on the verge of WWE being grounded from planes and other things for a long time. And if that is the fact, they need to work out a deal with Florida because that's where all their stuff is. They can do it Performance Center. They'll probably be able to add some seats, maybe do some, add some bleachers in there. WWE has the money to do that kind of stuff. Whereas a group like Impact, this happens to them, which it has. It's happened to everybody. But they don't have the money to do that. They don't have the money to say, bring those lights from the SmackDown stuff, bring those lights from Raw, make us an entranceway. Which, honestly, it looked pretty good in the Performance Center. I'm not even gonna lie. It really did. The lighting and everything looked really good in there. The question is, will Raw be the same? Yes, it will be. WWE has already announced it. Raw will be in an empty arena. I don't like this. If you can put 200 people in there, put them in there. Put plants. Put family members who want to go watch some wrestling. I don't know. Like, anything. Like, having an empty crowd is so bad. It's so hard to work. And them girls struggled in the first match on Raw last night. In fact, they had a mess up. And I'm going to talk about this real quick. So I guess WWE decided, since there was no crowd, that they were going to pause the match while they were at commercial break. You don't pause a match. I don't care if you're on commercial break or not. I'm sorry, that's something that should never ever be done. I'm pretty sure it has been done in studio shows back in the day. Um, no, not in any way possible would I really want to do that. That is it's hard to do. It's hard to work in front of like hardly any people. I think the less I've ever wrestled in front of was like 50, 100 maybe. And that was a very small promotion, but they drew a good crowd because they knew how to kind of sell themselves. I don't. Maybe even 100. Maybe put the heels on one side and the baby faces on another side, and maybe have them argue across the entranceway during the match. Their friend is maybe beaten up. Split the tag teams up. Maybe do singles match. It doesn't matter what you do, but you gotta have some dramatization with the crowd because that's like a big part of wrestling, and it's really hard to not do that. Well, I'm at 18 minutes. I've been rambling on for 18 minutes about WrestleMania. I got a lot to get into. I'm not gonna go past an hour today. Sorry I didn't get to this last night. Like I said, I had a lot going on. Me and my wife, and I'm pretty sure like the rest of the world, have been kind of watching the news and trying to figure out, well, what is going on here? Uh, but just just make sure you're smart with yourself, folks. You know, wash your damn hands when you go to the bathroom. Like, just certain hygiene things you could do to help this situation out. But it's gonna stink if they put us in complete lockdown, and it very well could happen. But anyway, I'm gonna give you some thoughts on some wrestling bullet points this week. Um, I'll start off with AJ versus Taker. Good stuff. AJ cut a real promo, half shoot, half work. And if you don't know what a shoot is when something happens that wasn't supposed to happen, no one was told, and they just do it themselves. So, I feel like AJ calling him by his real name was a little much. I don't think anybody's called him by Mark Calloway the whole time he's been the Undertaker in WWE, unless it was Austin on a podcast with him or something. But, yeah, that was, whew, to get the Taker to okay that, boy, they're going deep with this. Good, because they had to, or this wouldn't have worked. That's, to me, they booked it perfect. AJ is the snotty little heel bad guy. Taker's gonna be the good guy. Yeah, he's gonna have to defend off the OC probably for the next month. I don't know what they're gonna do with this because if Mania is delayed any, and they have to put this match off, and a slew of other matches. You've been booking all this stuff for 6 months. You can't. It's not like you can just. It's not like a shower drain or bathroom drain, and you just pull it out and it just drains the water. It doesn't happen. Does not happen like that. You can't just hit the reset button in wrestling. Do you cancel WrestleMania all the way? Hell no, you don't cancel WrestleMania. Too much of a moneymaker. And if you think Vince is going to cancel WrestleMania, you're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. I told you the show was going to be mature, so I'm not holding back cuss words. I'm sorry. If y'all don't want to listen to it, fine, whatever. But I've got a lot to say because I got a lot to get into that I'm not happy with wrestling. And it's things they did to themselves. It has nothing to do with viruses or anything like that. But we're gonna have to see where we go with these storylines. You can't put the pause button on it. So I mean, even if you have Undertaker take on the OC a week in a handicap match, okay, fine. He's gonna destroy him, which he is. He should. He's the Undertaker. I don't know where they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's such a confusing time right now. And I guess controversy actually does create cash because there's going to be a lot of money to either leave and them not get their hands on, or a lot of money that they're going to make once this all is over with. I'm not exactly sure where this is going. No one does. So hopefully we get to see the continued build. You know, maybe even they do interviews on Raw to keep this thing going until, you know, whatever the postponement date for WrestleMania could be. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, folks. I really, really don't. How about WWE, man? They went even as far, okay? They went as far to even cancel backstage. And there's only like 3 people that work on the production. Like, on camera. I mean, there's other production guys, so you would have to fly them in, so I guess you really can't do it. But they actually suspended production. That's a Fox show that Fox spent a lot of money on because they spent a lot of money on that WWE contract. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars. So Vince is like, yeah, screw it. Like, it's too much going on in the world right now. We don't need this show anyway. Like, just can't, suspend it. Now I'm going to touch on what I'm wanting to touch on. I went ballistic about this. I can't hold back anymore. I'm halfway here anyway. So let's get into this. And I'm pretty sure that you guys know what I'm probably going to be talking about. Rob Gronkowski signs with the WWE. I'm sick of this shit. I am sick of this shit on a level of the guys who go to train to be a professional wrestler get falled by the wayside and get thrown to the pile of garbage. The guys that deserve to be an Intercontinental Champion, or the guys that deserve to be a United States Champion. And we get them throwing $1 million out there to Rob Gronkowski. I mean, what in the fuck? Seriously. Like, I couldn't even get rid of this guy in football. He leaves football, and now he's coming to wrestling. Which I seen it coming, because last year, the year before, he did something in WrestleMania to Jinder Mahal. So here he goes. He probably had a good time, and Triple H said, "Hey pal, you want to do this? We could get you in this." But let me retire from football first. And here he is. I never liked his Tide Pod commercials. I don't like him as a person. I think he acts like an idiot. He's a dork. He reminds me of an idiot jock who has no smarts or brain in his body. I don't like the Patriots anyway, but this really has nothing to do with it. This has to do with wrestling. Why in the fuck would I want to pay to see Rob Gronkowski? And don't give me that bullshit, he's attraction shit. I don't want to hear it. He's a fucking idiot. He acts like an idiot on camera. He sounds like an idiot. He doesn't even sound like a professional wrestler. He might look like one because he's a monster, but he sucks. There's no way he's good. So, the signing of these UFC guys and these football guys, go fuck offense. Because you're ruining what little bit of sport of professional wrestling or that AEW is trying to save. And I know you don't like the word professional. You don't like wrestling. You don't like the word wrestling. Sports entertainment. Kiss my ass, Vince. Like, seriously. Okay? It's fine to have one or two attractions, okay? It's fine to have a guy that was a star in another sport come in, do a couple things, but sign him to a contract. Sign him to a damn fucking contract. This almost made me to the point where I cut my TV off and I was like, I can't do this. Between Cain Vasquez and Rob Gronkowski and Roderick Moss, which I never even knew he played football. I don't even know where he came from. Maybe he was a performance center guy, so maybe kudos to him. Stop bringing in ex-celebrities who either A, aren't relevant anymore, or B, should never be in a professional wrestling ring. Because if I have to hear Gronk talk on a fucking microphone on SmackDown, just go ahead, put me out in the pasture and run me over with an ATV. And make sure you kill me, so I don't have to hear this anymore. Because this is waste of money, waste of time, waste of booking, waste of efforts. Just a waste. It's just a waste all the way around. Like, man. Like, you couldn't find an independent guy to sign? Like anybody. Like, any independent guy would have worked perfectly. But no! We get Rob Gronkowski, the biggest dork in the world, the Tide Pod Eater, the guy who is just irrelevant to wrestling. I'm sorry. He just is. Let's move on to a little bit of AEW. So AEW is in the same position as all those indies promotions and WWE. They've already had to move their show. They were in Rochester, New York. They had moved it to the Daisy's place, and I believe that's Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville. So they're going to Florida. It's funny how all the wrestling shows are migrating to Florida. I understand. I know. Well, Billy, Tony Khan, damn man, he owns Jacksonville Jaguars with his dad. You know it's going to be in Florida. Well, no shit. But there's a lot of cases of the coronavirus in Florida, so I'm not exactly sure. Moving it from New York in the quarantine area, which it was, the arena that the AEW was in is in quarantine, which means you can't leave your house in New York in some places. That's not no, figment of your imagination. This is legit. This shit is going on in this world right now. So AEW is gonna have to move that, and the worst of it all. The worst of it all was yesterday when the New Jersey mayor comes out and literally says no mass gatherings, not even at 200 people, 50 people maximum. Well, you can't run a show with 50 people. That's the crew right there. So this is bad, folks. This is bad for wrestling. I don't like. What does AEW do? Because they're not like WWE. New promotion. They're like infants in the wrestling business. I'm not saying they don't have the money, because they do. They're billionaires. They have the money. If I was going to do anything, I would, like, you can't even do that. Universal's closed. So ixnay that idea. They closed Universal. I had that written down that maybe WWE could cut a deal with Disney and work at one of the sound stages. Because Impact could draw about, I think, 1,300 when Hogan came that one night. They jam-packed in that place. Screw it. Tell people, at your own risk, you can come in, you catch the virus, it's not on WWE. I don't care if you have to sign 18,000 waivers. Sign them. Maybe that's the way to have Mania. There's a way right there. Maybe I just came up with a way. Maybe get people to sign a waiver like you would do if you were, like, to do training for a job. If you get hurt, this is not on us, blah, blah, blah. This is on you. You would have to fix yourself. We are not entitled to this, blah, blah, blah. So it would be the same thing if you got caught with the virus. Okay, you catch the virus at WrestleMania. You cannot sue WWE. It was at your own risk. I would put a big sign up says WrestleMania is still on. at your own risk. If they draw 20,000, you know what? So what? Who gives a shit? Like, really. They've broken attendance records for 30 years almost. I don't think WrestleMania 1 was an attendance record. WrestleMania 2 combined was a huge attendance record. I think they sold out all three of those arenas at WrestleMania 2. We all know about WrestleMania 3. 4 was sold out in Trump. So was 5. 6 was sold out in the Sky Dome. 7 they had to move because of the war. And that's the only other time that WrestleMania has been in trouble being canceled. That was the only other time. And they just moved the arena. And that was a war. They could have dropped bombs on the Los Angeles Coliseum with no problem. And they didn't. So they did it out of, here's Sergeant Slaughter, who's an Iraqi sympathizer, taking on Hogan when it would have been an awesome story for the United States to see, because we all knew Hogan was beating Slaughter. I mean, even as a kid, when I rented the movie, I was like, Hogan's beating Slaughter. I remember telling my family. They're like, no way. Because, a couple people in my family like those kind of guys like Sergeant Slaughter and like the 83 guys like Tito and those kind of people. So it's like, oh yeah, Slaughter's awesome, blah, blah, blah. Well, Hogan won. So I'm just kidding. It's just how they booked it. So, damn, man, we're at 31 minutes. 31 minutes. So, actually, folks, I will say this. I didn't really do a top 5 this week. There's been so much going on in the world that there's just so much to cover here. Like, once I get into Impact and talk about them, I'm probably going to be at like 40, well, no, probably not. But, let's talk about Impact next. Now, Impact Wrestling is some big trouble. Along with the Ring of Honor, along with all those promotions. I feel so bad for the indie crowd. It's not going to be good for them. They are going to lose millions of dollars. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. WrestleMania is a big weekend for the wrestling business as a whole anymore. Most people have built shows around WrestleMania to draw off the Mania crowd, because let's be honest, if you're in Tampa, you literally could go to about 10 wrestling shows before you even get to Mania. 10. So imagine those guys who usually sell out WrestleCon, and imagine the WrestleCon people. Oh my gosh, dude, they put so much money into this. I mean, I'm sure there's everybody, Defy, Impact, Ring of Honor, MLW, and all those guys probably somehow. I know that they don't get along, but I'm pretty sure they work something out for this one night to make some money. Because, to be honest, the only way to kill a juggernaut is to team up against it. And if Impact and Defy and PWG and I don't even know if Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is around still, but all these little small promotions, if they just came together more, like together, maybe had a war against each other, they would make a lot more money. Because you're seeing all the stars in the indie in one consecutive place. Maybe if the shows branch off and then each show has like 1 or 2 matches, you could do this two times a year. Maybe the Impact World title gets defended, the tag titles for every company. Oh, it'd be awesome. This would be such a good idea. That way the major stars for each company get to be seen. It's one major pay-per-view. That would be cool if they did that WrestleMania weekend. But I doubt that would ever happen. It's hard to get a lot of promotions to work together. Everybody wants their guy to win. I mean, it's tough. Let's get to SmackDown last night. Well, I'm not really done with Impact. Impact just really needs to watch their money here. Here's what Impact is actually benefiting from everybody. They have taped their shows in advance, like a month. They taped in Atlanta, which those shows haven't even been on TV yet. We're still in Vegas from 2 weeks ago where they taped. Because they taped 4 shows. They taped a month worth of TV. Well, we're about to get a month worth of Atlanta TV. And then after that, I don't know what they're going to do, because they're going to be some serious shit. Because they can't move, they don't have a performance center like WWE. They don't have anywhere that they could take the show with no audience. So I don't, Impact's in some shit the next month if they don't fix this stuff. A lot of it's not the initial hardship of this virus thing. It's the later on down the road effects to it that wrestling's going to feel. Like the next couple weeks are going to be really crazy for the wrestling business. Next week I will do a top five, guaranteed. I didn't get to it this week, and I'm sorry. And I know people enjoy that. Like I said, me and my wife have just been really trying to watch this thing a little bit. Not hardcore, but we'll turn the news for like an hour or two. It's just been a lot going on this week, going grocery shopping and stuff like that. I really didn't have time to do it. I didn't have time to even do the podcast last night like I wanted to. But looks like we're at 37 minutes. 37 minutes. All right. SmackDown last night. Weird. No audience. Raw's going to be the same way as I stated earlier. Um, Very hard to work a show with no crowd. The girls, God bless them, but you all cut promos in NXT. They were cutting a promo like the crowd was there. And I'm like, what in the hell are you all fucking doing? Like, um, no. You can't cut a promo on each other. You have to read from a screen, I'm assuming that was somewhere up there on the non-hard, camera side. Like, what are you doing? Just cut a promo. So easy to do. So very easy to do, folks. Um, it was bad. Alexa gave herself away twice. I seen her read her lines. Bailey was talking to a crowd and there wasn't nobody in the stands, and I'm like, is Bernie from Weekend and Bernie's out there? Like, is he still alive? Because there ain't nobody in the damn crowd, you dumbass. Like, wow. Then they went and did a replay of the Elimination Chamber tag team match for the titles for SmackDown. That was cool. If you didn't have the network, you didn't get a chance to see Elimination Chamber. That was probably the match to watch from Elimination Chamber that night, other than Black and AJ. So yeah, that was cool for them to do that. That was some filler time. That was actually the time that Paige was supposed to have, but Paige couldn't make it because of travel restrictions. So see how the effects of this is really starting to take hold on everything. I don't know what Paige was going to do. Pretty sure she was either going to make a return to the ring or she was bringing someone out to take on Bailey at Mania. Not sure what they were doing there. It was such a weird show to watch. And then you had Jeff Hardy against Corbin. And it looked like Jeff got hurt again. I haven't read the reports this morning. I haven't read any wrestling. I literally woke up, started filming this, and was like, okay, well, guess I'll just wake up and start filming so I can get this content out here. I was going to be there was a lot more I was going to discuss, folks. A whole lot more. And I feel like that this virus thing has really taken over everything. Your life, wrestling, sports. It's a very hard time for the world right now. Rather it be the government that is trying to cover something up, or it is the actual virus itself, or it's for real that this virus is that bad. It is going to deter everything in wrestling completely. This is the first time in history I know of that this has ever happened. I know shows have been displaced for weather, but I've also known shows to go on for blizzards. This isn't weather. This is a virus. It's very, very adaptable to environments. It clings on surfaces for 5 days. You can get sick very quickly. We don't need our performers getting sick, and most importantly, we don't need the crowd getting sick. I'm really concerned for WrestleMania on a personal level. I don't see it happening. 80,000 people is a lot of people to put in a stadium. A lot. So hopefully this virus thing will just go away because, SmackDown felt it last night. Like, not having a crowd, I was okay with it. It was like watching maybe guys train, um, but not. Like, to have I mean, they did the Sunday Night Heat thing back in the day with Mick Foley, or the halftime heat with Mick Foley and The Rock. But that was one match, and that was a match that told a story. Not every match here you're going to be able to do in front of a crowd that isn't there. It's a real tough thing to pull off. I'll tell you who did a good job last night, though. John Cena. John Cena did a fantastic promo. He may have almost saved the entire show. Because, God bless Cena. What a promo. Like Michael Cole, I've never been in WWE to see a situation where there isn't any fans, but I've seen it all in the WWE. I have taken on everybody. I have lost some, and then he names all the big losses he's ever had. I have won some, and he names a bunch of big matches that he's had. And he's like, but I've never seen anybody like Bray Wyatt. And, I mean, it books itself. They have a history. Cena actually beat Wyatt at a WrestleMania. So, we have history. There's a story. Basically, the story is that it's Cena's fault for The Fiend even coming out. So, good stuff. We'll see where it goes. I mean, you could actually work wonders with this. You don't need a crowd for this match. You could honestly, well, you need a crowd for the match. You don't need a crowd for a build. Just like you don't really need a crowd for a build for Taker and AJ, because you can do a much of like interviews and I think contract signing this week on Raw. I don't know, man. The vibe of wrestling was really weird this week, and I wanted to go off on a lot more things. I did go off on Grunt. Fuck him. Do not listen to this with your kids around, because I'm cussing a lot. I told you this was going to be mature, so get over it this week. Fuck him. Waste of time. I know a group down in it. Shit. I know at least 15 wrestlers that I would have pulled up to the main roster before I would have even decided to sign Gronk. And why is Gronk going right on SmackDown? I don't want to hear it because he's a star. You pay your damn dues. You go to Performance Center. That's not even paying dues. That's not how you pay dues. You pay dues by having matches and letting people go over you. And making them look good like a star. No, this guy comes right in and he goes on SmackDown. Get the shit out of here with that. So yeah, I don't want to be all over the place, but it's the truth. Like, it's been a very, very weird week this week. Like, very weird. Like, in life and in wrestling. So, this week, it's 43 minutes. I think you've heard Billy Bailey talk enough and bitch. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave everybody with this. Be safe out there. Don't be an idiot. Just don't. Stay home. 14 days is not going to damn kill you. It's not. After this is all over with, the world will go back to normal. How long this will take, we don't know. You don't know watching, and I don't know. But what I'm telling you is, folks, this is not good. Regardless of what you want to joke around with or not, this is going to kill the economy. Just so you know. And that was the Turnbuckle Takeover this week. I'm your host, Billy Bailey, the host with the most, the tower of power, and I'm always too sweet to be sour, daddy. So I want you to see me next week. I'll have a longer podcast. I'll have a top 5 next week. I just really wanted to talk about this. This is a serious story in wrestling, and I feel like it needed to be taken on opinion-wise. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Get your, provisions, because there's a very good possibility the government will lock us down. It's happened in Italy. It's happened in China. I can almost guarantee you within the next 3 days, I could be wrong, 3 or 4 days, I would see them putting us in lockdown if the numbers don't stop skyrocketing. So be safe out there. Get some hand sanitizer, whatever you need to do. Go buy your toilet paper. I don't even understand that because I won't even get into that. But, good luck to everybody out there. Hope everybody's able to work. I'm not, so stinks. But stay safe out there, everybody. And this is your host, Billy Bailey, and I'll see you next week on the Turnbuckle Takeover.